Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my marathon of videoing. So I'm gonna have the same outfit in 3 videos now, but who's judging? It's lockdown. This is how I'm spending my time. For the Throwback Thursday today, I'm doing a travel tag. I think this was a big thing a couple years ago, but I thought it would be fun for a Throwback Thursday kind of thing. So basically, there's 20 questions which I answer. It's all travel themed. This whole mess. I have way too much hair for this climate. Cute. Sorry, the background's like wonky. I don't know what's happening. It's my second coffee of the day. I'm completely sleep deprived. We're doing good. Okay, so question number 1 on the travel tag. What age were you when you first started traveling? I think the first time that I was on a plane, I was like around 6 months old, and I went to Phoenix, Arizona, USA, which answers the next question, which was where was your first travel? What countries have you visited / lived in? So I have visited England, France, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, Vatican City, Austria, Czech Republic, Netherlands, Cuba, USA, and New Zealand. And I have lived in Canada, Australia, and currently I'm living in Barbados. What is my dream place to go and why? I really want to go to the Mediterranean. I want to hit like, okay, my number 1 at this moment is probably Greece, but I want to see like Spain, Greece, Turkey, that kind of thing. Simply because I think they all look beautiful. Spain, I love the Spanish language, and I think the food of both places, Greece and Spain, look exquisite. I love food. What are your favorite memories from traveling? So obviously I have so many, it's hard to really pin them down, but one of my favorites was when we were on the top of Jungfrau Mountain in Switzerland. I was on a Kentucky tour, and there were a whole bunch of Australians on the tour who had never seen snow before, so we got to see them see snow. Something money can't buy. And I just sat there and I ate snow. What are 3 things I bring with me when I travel? I always bring my passport, obviously, my phone so I can record messages so I can record videos, photos, and communicate with home, and a hat. If I'm going to a cold climate, I'll bring a toque, which is Canadian for like a beanie, or like a baseball cap. I brought like 5 to Barbados, but I just feel like hats are, you have to have a hat. Favorite food that I've tried from another country. I tried lobster for the first time at a buffet on a beach called Cayo Blanco, which I went to on a catamaran cruise when I was in Cuba. List a few words I have learned from my travels. So one I learned, and I still cannot pronounce it, Zwiebel, which is onion in German. Don't ask me why. Just kidding, you can ask me why. When I lived in Quebec City, there were a lot of German people there. They were on an exchange, so I hung out with them a lot, had a lot of German friends, and we would cook together, and I was adamant that I learned one word, and I chose Zwiebel, which is onion. Mahalo, which is thank you in Hawaiian, which I learned in Hawaii, and Freo. I did take a Spanish class in grade 10, and one of my regrets in life is not continuing to learn Spanish, but that's bean in Spanish. Learned that in Cuba. I also think when I was in Europe, I learned how to say cheers in each language of each country, but I've since forgotten that, unfortunately. Have you made friends from other countries, and how did you meet them? Yes, so I've made a lot of friends throughout my travels in general. When I did my 2 semesters in Quebec City, I met a lot of German people, like I just mentioned. And then Kentucky, there was just so many people from so many places, some of whom I still speak to this day, and I would still consider some of my very closest friends. So shout out to you. Jack, I know you watch my videos, so shout out to Jack. Also, I used his photo for the Switzerland thing with me eating the snow. In Australia, I actually, like when I moved to Australia, I stayed with one of the people that I met on the Kentucky tour, and then I met like a lot of friends through friends there, and I lived there for 2 years, so I met a lot of people. What was your most memorable moment traveling? Again, there's so many, it's hard to really narrow it down. I would say skydiving in Australia or learning how to scuba dive. In fact, maybe I'd say one of the most memorable moments was here in Barbados. We went scuba diving and I saw a stingray for the first time. That was awesome. Worst moment of my travels. We're on question number 11, BTW. Every time I've lost my luggage, which has happened to me a lot. It is infuriating how much this has happened, but that has sucked. I've also missed a couple flights, which resulted in me sleeping in an airport. And I'm saying this knowing like at least I've never been mugged or like assaulted, so I've been pretty lucky, I have to say. The other notable worst moment was when we left France after the Kentucky tour, and I basically sobbed hysterically on the bus. And then when me and my cousin were flying home, we just like didn't say a word to each other because we were so upset. Kentucky's a whole other story for another time. Maybe that'll be my next throwback video. Oh my god, the monotone's full on today. Where would you like to visit again and why? My first instinct is always to say New Zealand. It's one of the most peaceful, friendly, and stunning countries I've ever been to. And I feel like I really only scratched the surface there. Like I was there for just over 3 weeks. And I think I could live there, honestly, for like ever maybe, but at least like 6 months to a year. I keep joking to Sean that we should move to New Zealand, but so far he hasn't bid. I mean, we are in Barbados, so what am I complaining about? Do you have any plans for upcoming travels? So currently I'm in Barbados. It's really hard to make plans with the travel bans and whatnot, so it's uncertain and hard to say where we will end up next. Maybe home even? I don't know. It's one of my New Year's resolutions that if we do end up back in Canada, to really spend a lot of time like traveling throughout that area again through the summer. Like I did a lot of camping last summer, and the mountains are only 3 hours from where I live, so yeah, just kind of exploring that a bit more. Number 14, why do you travel? I travel to experience other cultures, learn about history, meet new people, and eat food. And to get a tan sometimes. 15, do you or have you ever traveled for work, and where? Not really. I worked in Australia to fund my travels. Like I was on the working holiday visa, so if you count that, then I kind of worked and traveled there. Other than that, I've done some road trips back home in Canada, just like road trips for conferences, workshops, nothing too extensive or fancy. I work in childcare, so that's my profession. There's not a whole lot of travel involved in that. Number 16, what climates do you prefer? Cool, rainy, warm, tropical, desert, or tundra? They spelt it thundra. I'm not picky. I'm Canadian, so I like a little bit of everything. What is the first thing you check out when you go to a new country? Anything food related, grocery store, restaurant, bar. Number 18, have you traveled around your home country, and where's your favorite place there? Yes, so I counted. I've been to 6 out of the 10 provinces in Canada, and I unfortunately haven't visited any of the 3 territories. My favorite place in Canada is Quebec City. Number 19, what is your favorite thing about traveling? Food and booze and seeing the sights and geography. I also love like when you go somewhere and you don't really have high expectations, no expectations, or you don't really know what it's gonna look like, and you get there and it's just amazing. Okay, this will be a really quick side rant. When I went to Europe, I was dreaming my whole life of going to London and Paris and these big cities with these big sites, the Eiffel Tower, the Tower of London, the London Bridge, all these famous landmarks, Kensington Palace, which I did like. I wasn't a huge fan of Paris. London I really, really liked. Would love to go back one day. But what I learned when I was there was that I much prefer country and like natural places. The Austrian countryside, gorgeous. Switzerland, I think Switzerland's another place I honestly could live. It is gorgeous. I like to be surprised. I like to go places with not a whole lot of expectations. Even coming to Barbados, I genuinely didn't know what to expect. We kind of just were like, okay, let's go to Barbados, it's the Caribbean, it'll be great. We were right, number 1, but number 2, like stunning geography, amazing vegetation. There's a little bit of everything here, except snow. Good. Final question, number 20, what are your top travel tips for other people? My biggest advice is to try new things. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone, but also stay safe and have your wits about you, especially if you're traveling alone. Try new things. Travel something that should push you and make you learn and grow and expand your worldview. So do stuff, do it with an open mind, and try things you never thought you'd try before. I did skydiving, thought I would do it once and never do it again. I loved it, and I can't wait to do it again. That is the travel tag. Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying my content, / if you're just waiting patiently for when I can do more Barbados adventures again, click subscribe, stick around, like this video, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here.